Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into this, the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Jim Hardy. We'll be with you for the next 2 hours, taking your phone calls, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us this evening. So much to talk about. High school playoffs are in round 3. We've got Auburn and Alabama in action this past week. We got the Iron Bowl coming up on Saturday. We got Thanksgiving on Thursday. We got NFL moving down to the playoffs, trying to garner position there. Who's going to make it? Who's not going to make it? Just so much going on. We won't have time to fill all of these 2 hours, but we'll get to as much as we can. The college football playoff poll came out just a few minutes ago. A little bit of a change in tonight's rankings as Washington moves into that 4th slot ahead of Florida State, who, of course, lost their quarterback over the weekend. Just a terrible, terrible injury. Jordan Travis out there at Florida State. Just the last thing you want to see for a team like that is having a great season like that. But nonetheless, hey, they still got an opportunity. They got a backup quarterback. They got to go to Florida on Saturday, that rivalry game. Then you got the AHSAA title game. So, hey, maybe they could play their way back into it if the backup quarterback performs well. So there's that to talk about. Love to hear from you. As always, 256-234-6221. We'll, of course, talk about the debacle that was Auburn and New Mexico State this past weekend as well. We certainly couldn't get away without at least talking about that for a little bit. Oh, my God. But I'm joined tonight by my good friend Jim Hardy. Jim, how's it going?
Oh, going good, man. I'm just happy to have some rainy weather in the area. We've been like months and months so dry.
Yeah.
It is very refreshing to see some cooler fall air for these Friday night football games and a little bit of rain.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Looks like it's going to move out and going to be nice for Thanksgiving, going to be nice for the Iron Bowl on Saturday. So
I think
everything's kind of working out.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers, knock on wood.
Maybe the score works out.
We'll see. It depends on who you're pulling for.
Well,
it's going to work out right for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
At least half of this state for sure. All right, we mentioned the college football playoff poll is out. That's a good place to start. Georgia, number 1, 11-0. Ohio State, number 2. Michigan, number 3. As I mentioned, Washington goes into the 4th spot there at 11-0. They defeated Oregon State this past weekend. The number, I think Oregon State was like 12. So a really good win for them. Florida State loses their quarterback. They do win, but in kind of ugly fashion over North Alabama. So they dropped to that 5th spot. You got Oregon at 6th, Texas remaining at 7, and Alabama remaining as the 8th team. Missouri, number 9, Louisville, number 10. So there's your top 10 teams there. What do you think about Washington moving into that 4th spot?
I mean, I think it's deserving. You know, they've had a good quality of schedule. They've, showed in each one of those games they were kind of dominant. Outside of a few plays that Oregon, I think, beat themselves at the end of their game, there's a possibility they could have that one loss. But then we're going to get to find out in the championship game if Oregon's got what it takes.
Oregon and Oregon State, the Civil War this weekend.
The Beavers and the Ducks.
I think with Washington beating Oregon State, it's going to be Oregon and Washington in the Pac-12 championship game, regardless of what happens in that game. Although, if Oregon's got any chance to make it into the playoff, the 4-team playoff, they got to win this game Saturday. And then, obviously, beat Washington. But Bo Nix, right there with a Heisman.
Yep.
perhaps if he, do you think is it just about statistics? Is that what the Heisman has come to? Or do you think people are looking at it and saying, okay, Bo, if you can lead your team to the Pac-12 championship and into the playoff, that may put him over the top for the Heisman winner?
Yeah, I think if you're gonna truly be what the name of it is, the MVP, the most valuable guy on a team, if you took that individual and pulled them off that team, would Oregon still be where they are?
Is that what the Heisman is to you?
That's what it is to me. I think if you pull that person away, they made that team. Like Cam Newton made Auburn. If Cam Newton wasn't on that team, Auburn doesn't do what they do.
No, not even close.
Same way with Oregon for me. I don't think their backup quarterback puts them in the same spot as Bo Nix does. Now, I hear a lot of people out there, hollering for Jalen Daniels. I don't think you can win it with 3 losses. That's not – even though you're a great player and you put up a bunch of stats, you also put up a bunch of stats against an Auburn and some other people that ain't that great of defenses to run up the score on.
It's a fair point. RG3 won it, I think, maybe with 3 losses or right about there when he played for Baylor.
I think
it's happened.
I think Daniels will be at the ceremony, but I don't think he wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Think it's down to those 2 guys? Think
Penix, that's what I was going to say, Washington. As long as he keeps winning, his moment is going to be that championship game with him and Oregon. I think you're probably looking at the Heisman Trophy winner of that championship game. Who pulls that off?
It's kind of, you're going to have Ohio State and Michigan are going to play each other Saturday.
Correct.
So one of those teams is going to be out. That's going to take care of itself. So it's going to be an opportunity for somebody else to move up. Florida State could move back in. Mm-hmm. Florida State's I think they're going to have Louisville regardless. I think that's in stone now too.
Right.
That Florida State will play Louisville. Now, Louisville's only got 1 loss. They play Kentucky on Saturday.
Right.
If you're Florida State, you probably need them to be 11-1 coming into that game.
Right.
That way, maybe it's a little bit more impressive win for them.
Yeah, resume.
To have any kind of chance. So you got Oregon and Washington. If Oregon beats Washington, you think they're definitely playoff bound?
I can't see any other way around it because if you look at the spots that are available, I think that because you're going to, as you've already broke it down, you Ohio State, Michigan. One of them's getting in regardless.
Right.
I mean, they're gonna
because they're gonna play Iowa.
In the championship. So whoever that is, they're gonna get in. So let's just say it's Ohio State that gets in. Then you got that second spot sitting there that we were talking about, the SEC championship. Mm-hmm. The SEC champion in my book is getting in. Whoever that is. If Georgia wins, they're obviously in. If that's Alabama, I think they're in. So you've got a Pac-12. Hanging out there with the Washington-Oregon deal. So if Oregon were to beat Washington, then I think they're in. So you got an Oregon, a Georgia, and an Ohio State sitting there. Your 4th team would be the guys up for question with me. Do you put the 1-loss Georgia in there if that happened to happen? Do you put the 1-loss Texas in there if they win their conference championship? Do you put Florida State that's still hanging out there, even though they may be undefeated, lesser of their quarterback? Because I think we learned our lesson last year. You give a team like TCU a chance to get in there because they earned it to be there, and then they got their doors blowed off. They're going to look back at that and go, boy, maybe Florida State without
Michigan, though.
Well, that with a bunch of Jim didn't get to steal the signals on that game.
Even though they had their signals.
That's right. So you get my point is I think Florida State had a big loss with that quarterback going down, and it may hurt them even if they're undefeated.
Yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios, but the one game that really could throw this thing into total chaos, to me, is if Alabama beats Georgia.
That's correct.
If you've got Texas sitting there at 1 spot above Alabama because they beat Alabama in the regular season. Yeah. And to me, head-to-head is an enormous part of this.
Right.
So like you said, let's just say, you're going to have Ohio State, Michigan is going to take care of itself. Oregon, Washington is going to take care of itself. I think whoever wins that game gets in. Whoever wins the Ohio State-Michigan game is in. I'm fine with that.
Right.
Florida State could play their way in if they win these next 2 games, I believe.
Right.
That's 3 spots. To that 4th spot, like you said, but if Georgia wins, it's no-brainer.
Brainer.
If Alabama beats Georgia,
right,
Then you got one loss Alabama, SEC champion. You got one loss Georgia, who just lost to a team that's a playoff bound. You got one loss Texas.
Yep. And then, just think about it if it went in another direction. If Michigan were to pull this game off Saturday and you got a one-loss Ohio State sitting there that beat Penn State, beats these other quality opponents, who in the world do you go reach for then?
But how do you figure, Georgia, let's just say Georgia, Alabama, and Texas.
Right.
One loss apiece.
Right.
Texas having beaten Alabama, Alabama having beaten Georgia, and Georgia having beaten
I think
neither of the
it's the trump card is you won the conference. If you
think
win the
it's
SEC,
Alabama
there's
over
too much.
Texas.
There's too much. I think I told you last time we were on the show. There's no way in my mind that Alabama doesn't go in over Texas. They don't. I mean, they go. Now, what may happen is because Texas beat Alabama, they may be that fourth spot because they earned it by beating Alabama.
But if there is,
but
no
I don't think you keep.
spot.
I don't think you keep the SEC champion out of that playoff. There's no way. You're gonna.
It would be difficult.
That's what I was about to say. So you would think in your mind, do you see a scenario that if that Alabama team just beat Georgia, you're saying they wouldn't go and Georgia wouldn't go, so we would have no representative whatsoever?
I mean, I've on record. Me and Luke had this conversation last week. I cannot jump Alabama over Texas.
Yeah.
But now, if it's a 3. If you throw Georgia into the mix now as a one-loss team,
right?
Then you convince yourself, okay, well, Alabama has to go,
right?
Because they beat Georgia,
right?
So
it, what people always say, it's what they look at what you're doing in November, not in September. Alabama had a new quarterback basically at home. They were learning their way around. Texas has shown now they hadn't lost, but they played a lot of close games against a lot of weak opponents.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
Now Texas could lose Saturday.
That's correct.
They play Texas Tech. They could lose that game.
Right.
And
now who's in their championship game with them?
Well, see, that's where it gets kind of weird because you've got Oklahoma. I think if Oklahoma State beats BYU and Texas beats Texas Tech, then it's Texas and Oklahoma State.
Okay.
However, if Texas loses and Oklahoma State wins, then you got 6-2 Texas in the conference, or 7 or. I guess it's 7-2.
That's
you got 7-2 Texas in the conference, 7-2 Oklahoma State. If Oklahoma and I think Iowa State both win, they'll both be 7-2 as well in the conference.
Right.
So you'll have 4 teams, but I'm not sure how all the tiebreakers maybe just be the 2 highest ranked.
But
teams.
It wouldn't. I mean, even to me, discussing that scenario, none of those people, if they all had 2 losses, it wouldn't matter for the playoff.
It wouldn't. The playoffs would be done.
Gone.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be done.
Yeah.
So Texas has got to win.
So they're praying for, this committee is praying for a Texas to stay at a 1 loss so they could put them in. Because that's some big dollars going to a playoff with that brand going. That's what they're also looking at. Look at the brands that would be going.
Yeah.
You send an Alabama to a playoff, people are going to travel.
Sure.
Texas guys are going to travel. The Bulldogs are going to travel. You're the ones you're on the outside looking in. If you're one of those one-loss Washington, they may drop you off just because you're not going to bring bucks with you.
Yeah. Well, if the committee, there's probably people on the committee just saying, man, they just hope Georgia beats Alabama, so they won't have to have controversy.
Right.
Because if they do, there's going to be controversy.
Oh goodness. Sure. Yeah.
We're up against our first break here on Sports Blitz Live. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We'll go ahead and take a break, but we'll be back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. Just getting started on tonight's show. We'll be with you until 9 o'clock this evening. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Keel and his crew a call, 256-825-4849. Sunshine Heating and Air.
Very good fella. He's done some work for us before with our off kids, special needs kids.
Yep.
And, we enjoyed his work for years and years. So he does a great air conditioning.
Absolutely. And, it's you never know what the weather's going to be like in Alabama. So you need heating and cooling.
Yeah, you looked at, like last year, we were 80 in January and then had some hard freezes in March.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of the way it goes. But we appreciate their sponsorship and always have. Give them a call today. You'll be glad that you did. We're going to take a look at, it is that time of year, I mentioned third round of the high school football playoffs. Just want to run down these brackets here. We'll talk a little bit about this, and hopefully we'll be joined by Brett Pritchard a little bit later, and he's going to break down the Pike Road Benjamin Russell game, the local area game here on Friday night. Certainly all of us looking forward to that. 3 straight rounds here at home. You hardly ever see that.
That's amazing that it's fell into their lap every time.
It's just kind of worked out that way, but that's good for them. In Class 1A in the South, it'll be Leroy traveling to Brantley, 11-0 Leroy traveling to 8-4 Brantley, and Elba at Maplesville. So you got 2 undefeated teams traveling to the lesser teams there. Maplesville 8-4. Maplesville, of course, one of those names you've heard quite a bit there.
They stack up the championship teams.
They have. Leroy, it was a really good team. They've gone through some ebbs and flows, but back on top now. That's the south side of the bracket. North side, Hackleburg at Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian they got a 7-5 record, but they had to forfeit.
That's the scary team right there.
They had to forfeit I think 3 or 4 of those games.
I think it was 4
early,
yeah.
And they still made the playoffs in the 4th spot, and that's not been good for everybody else. They are a very good team. So Hackleburg got their work cut out for them there. That one actually in Gadsden, Coosa Christian. Wadley put up 81 points last week. Back-to-back, I think they put up 62 the first round, 81 last week. They traveled to Pickens County to take on them, 9-3 Pickens County. So Wadley, a scoring machine. It'll be interesting to see how that one ends up turning out. Class 2A, you got some local, and pretty close around here. BB Comer, 12-0. They went to the championship game last year and lost to Fife, if I'm not mistaken. They'll be at Clark County. So BB Comer, 12-0. Clark County, 7-5. Reeltown, 11-0. They have just been running roughshod over everybody here all season, really. They're at Cottonwood. Cottonwood, 10-1 on the year. So that's a great matchup there in the South. The north side of the bracket's got Tuscaloosa Academy at Pisgah and Locust Fork at Fife. Locust Fork, undefeated, 5-11-1. They lost the first game of the year to Geraldine, and they have reeled off 11 straight. But I'm telling you, Locust Fork is a really, really good team. That is going to be a fantastic game, I believe, Locust Fork at Fife. But a lot of people feel like BB Comer and Reeltown, that's just a –
that's the matchup.
That's the matchup, and that's going to be one that I would love to see that. Not, with all due respect to Clark County and Cottonwood, you never know what's going to happen, but that's going to be a really, really fun game to look forward to. In 3A in the South, you got Mobile Christian traveling to Trinity Presbyterian there in Montgomery. St. James is at Thomasville. Thomasville is the one that knocked Dadeville out just a couple of weeks ago in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
On the north side, as I mentioned, Geraldine, a really, really good team. They beat Fife in the first game of the year. They're at Lauderdale County. Lauderdale County undefeated. Sylvania is at Madison Academy. Madison Academy undefeated. Of course, Madison Academy has won championships. Carry-on Johnson went to Auburn. He was there.
Yeah, they played
were
for
really, really good.
I'm familiar with another one of their opponents over the years down there in the same area, or same 3A was Edgewood, and Edgewood and Madison used to have some brawls to see who was going.
No doubt. Madison Academy has they bounced back and forth, I think, in the classifications, but they settled there in 3A, undefeated, looked really, really good this season. Class 4A, you got Jackson at Booker T. Washington. Jackson is undefeated. On the other side, Montgomery Catholic, undefeated yet again at Jacksonville. They just have not – they've been unbelievable in the regular season, but have not been able to get over the hump. On the north side, Westminster Christian at Brooks and Cherokee County at West Morgan. So there's your 1 through 4A brackets. We'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the 5, 6, and 7A brackets and some really, really fun matchups. One of them, of course, Benjamin Russell and Pike Road. Looking forward to that here in Alexander City. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opelika Ford. Get 3.9% for 60 months on all new 2023 Ford F-150s or 1.9% for 60 months on 2023 Ford Edges. Only at Opelika Ford. Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opelika CDJR. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Ram 1500 or 15% off MSRP on new Jeep Compass. Only at Opelika CDJR.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. Several more segments here in talking about high school football. We were running down the classifications, the playoffs, third round of the playoffs here in the AHSAA brackets. We got to 5A. Gulf Shores, there was, of course, a lot of talk about Gulf Shores maybe having to forfeit some games because the players it never materialized. I guess no proof of any kind of wrongdoing. They are undefeated. They are at Headland. Headland 10-2, a very good team.
Yeah, I've actually watched them on TV this year, and they are a pretty good team.
Oh, yeah. And this was, this was kind of, we were talking about during the break. Central Clay County, they, were number 2 in 5A.
Yep.
They were rolling along. They had just been destroying people. And now, it's just kind of funny the way it all worked out. Viger was going to be the 4th seed, but they had to forfeit a bunch of games. And they beat UMS Wright, beat them handily. I think it was like 31-7 or 31-6 or something like that. But because they had to forfeit that game, UMS Wright got the win, and UMS Wright ended up being the 4th team. They weren't even going to make the playoffs, but they got in because of that forfeit
and beat the number 2
and
in
went
the state.
Went to Clay and beat them on their home field 7-0.
Yep. That's amazing.
And knocked them out.
And what we were talking about, probably the 2 best coaches living at the moment, 2 best coaches in the state of Alabama coached against each other.
Oh, yeah. You got Terry Curtis, number 1 right now with 355 wins. You got Danny Horn, second with 351 wins. And then I think the guy at Fife is right behind them at like 346 or 347.
Right.
And I think Terry Curtis and Danny Horn both have 8 state titles. It's just unbelievable. I mean, they may be the 2 greatest.
Right now, you don't see any quit in either one of them, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. I don't see them stopping in.
Curtis is a little bit. He's a lot older than
Danny.
I think Danny's like 61.
Yeah.
He's like 7 or 8 years younger. So
okay,
he may be around for a while, a little bit. We'll see. But Headland defeats UMS Wright and knocks them out last week pretty handily. So Gulf Shores and Headland this week. Eufaula is at Demopolis. On the north side, Ramsey, who has really been on a roll, they're 10-2. They'll be at Moody, who is 10-2 as well.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, on the Gulf Shores, isn't that David that does the show with us? Isn't his son a coach on that team?
He is a coach. His son-in-law is a coach on UMS Wright.
Right. Okay. I thought
David
he was
used to live in Gulf Shores.
Oh, okay.
So he knows that area really well.
Yep.
Pleasant Grove is at Gunnersville. That's 10-1 versus 11-1 Gunnersville. So in the 6A bracket, you got Hillcrest Tuscaloosa undefeated at Saraland 12-0. Saraland has just been phenomenal. They got, of course, Ryan Williams, among many others.
Yep.
They are a really, really impressive team. Some people think they might be the best team in the state in any classification.
That's very possible.
Well,
and when you get to this level, too, your third and fourth round, you're going to play teams that got guys that are committed D1.
That's where I think their quarterback's committed to Texas.
Yeah, that's what they – and the next one you're about to talk about, the Pike Road Benjamin Russell. If I'm not mistaken, Auburn's already got one off of their D-line, off Pike Road's defensive line is committed to Auburn.
All right.
Yeah,
I think
then you got a receiver on the Benjamin Russell side that's committed to Auburn.
Exactly.
So there's going to be commits all over the field Friday night.
That's going to be a fun game. Pike Road will be at Benjamin Russell, both teams 10-2. Pike Road struggled a little bit early. They have really righted the ship and played their best football as the season has gone on. Benjamin Russell could say the same thing. They started out really well. They hit a little lull, had some inexplicable losses.
What the team we just talked about a minute ago, Danny Horn, came in here to Benjamin Russell and beat them on a rainy Friday night with all this speed Benjamin Russell has.
Yep.
They found a way to neutralize it and keep it to where they won. The number 2 team in 5A, that good, possibly did, because we're down to 8. They beat one of the top 8 teams in 6A and handily beat them.
Yeah.
And got put out in the first round.
So there is no gimmies.
No.
You got to earn it for sure. Pike Road at Benjamin Russell on Friday night here at the Sportplex. On the north side, you got Gadsden City at Parker. Parker 11-1 has had a great year. Clay Chalkville undefeated at Muscle Shoals undefeated.
Now I follow a lot of high school football, but let me ask a dumb question here.
Okay.
How do we have teams that are 12-0 on one side of the bracket and only 11-0 on the other side of the bracket?
That's a good question. Probably because they either had a forfeit or they only played 9 games in the regular season. I think
everybody would play 10 regular season games.
Well, Dave only played, I think, 8.
Oh, wow.
It probably that
maybe that'll be a Brett question.
There you go. Perhaps somebody played an early game, one of those
jamborees.
I don't know.
Or a what do they call them? Week 0 games.
Yeah, week 0, something like that.
Yeah,
it's a good question. It's a fair question, Jim. But I don't have the answer.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm seeing it all the way back up the board through there. Everybody's 12-0 or 10-2, so they've had 12 ball games.
Yeah.
You got 7-5 teams, 9-3.
This is true.
8-4.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know. Well,
there is no bias.
No.
So
it's got to be a forfeit. Is what it's got to be.
I would guess.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at the 6A and think Clay Chalkville and Saraland are destined to meet there in the championship.
I don't know. Muscle Shoals, I've heard a lot about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Saraland is loaded. I mean, they are loaded.
And if Benjamin Russell were to get past Pike Road,
right,
and Saraland were to get past Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, Benjamin Russell would have to travel down to Saraland, I believe.
Okay.
So
that was the next question I was about to ask Brett, is what is the scenario that puts Benjamin Russell back at home again? Is it Hillcrest winning?
I don't know I don't think that would even be possible. To play 4 straight.
You sure?
Is
there like a tiebreaker rule in there that says, hey, you played 3, you can't do any more?
That's a good question. We'll ask Brett that for sure.
Yeah, Brett, if you're listening, be studying up on that.
In 7A, you got the South, Mary Montgomery, First time they had actually had a playoff win.
Yeah.
And they have now gotten to the third round. Well, your prize is you get to play Central Phoenix City. Here again, 12-0 versus 11-0.
Yeah.
So there's your unbalance. Somebody played an extra game.
Yep.
But Mary Montgomery been very good. They beat Enterprise last week. Clay Central Phoenix City hammered Auburn.
So what Mary Montgomery's prize is they got to play Perry Thompson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What's his name? Cam Coleman.
Cam Coleman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Perry Thompson and down in Mobile.
That's right.
In the north side, Hewitt-Trussville will be at Thompson. Thompson, of course, the 4-time state champion, I believe. They've won.
Yeah, won it. What was the last year with a 9th grader?
Yeah. Well, no, an 8th.
8th.
He's ninth this year.
Right.
And leading them right back. So Thompson has lost one game this year. Hewitt-Trussville, they beat Hewitt-Trussville pretty good. I think it was like 40-14, 40-13 or something like that in the regular season. But Hewitt-Trussville playing really well, and they hammered Hoover this past week.
And most people may not realize, but 7A after this week's done. Like they don't.
Oh yeah.
They wait.
They'll take a break.
They play
They'll get a week
championship.
off before the championship game.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your classifications all set up. Friday, all games will be played on Friday night, so it should be. And like I say, the weather looks like it's going to be really nice, kind of cool, but really, really nice for high school football in November. We're going to go ahead and take another break. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
This is Joseph Dean with Alabama Funeral Homes. As many of you are aware, we had a fire that significantly damaged our facilities. We were in the process of getting those rebuilt. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused the families that we serve. I want you to know that we are capable of handling all of your needs at Frederick Dean Funeral Home of Opelika, which will be servicing Alabama Funeral Homes families. We can be reached at our same number, 256-896-4502, or by email at joseph@alabamafuneralhomes.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial building. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. Going to go to the phone line and welcome in the voice of the Benjamin Russell Wildcats, Mr. Brett Pritchard. Huge game at the Sportsplex on Friday night, Pike Road. We'll be traveling to Benjamin Russell. This is a very exciting time, and it's been a while since Benjamin Russell been this far in the playoffs.
It has. Exciting opportunity for Benjamin Russell. The last time they hosted a quarterfinal matchup was in 2015 against Bessemer City, and ended up winning that game, by about 3 scores, but it was a tough football game, and went on down to Spanish Fort the next week in a semifinal matchup that the Wildcats really controlled the first half and were up 27-10. And, at that point I thought you definitely don't try to think a game's in the bag at halftime, but we hadn't been held scoreless all year in the second half. And, Spanish Fort looked like they didn't have much of an answer for what we were doing, and I felt like if we just scored, just twice, we'd win the game pretty easily. But it wasn't the best time to go scoreless in a half there in the semifinal. We ended up losing 30-27 to a really good Spanish Fort team that ended up winning a state title the next week. So, it's tough to get to this point. I think both of y'all know that. And Benjamin playing their best football of the year. That's what you want to be doing this time of year. And they're playing another really good team in Pike Road that comes in with the same record at 10-2. So they've had a close one against Homewood. They were down 17-0 last week to Spanish Fort and made a roaring comeback to win 31-17. So this is a game team with some really good players on it. Malik Blockton on defense is committed to Auburn, is their leading tackler, their leading sack guy. And Mike Jones, their running back, sophomore running back, already has offers from Alabama and Georgia and several other universities. So they've got weapons, and they've got a freshman quarterback that really can play. I know that's crazy to hear these days, but Trent Seaborn kind of broke the mold at Thompson a couple of years ago, starting as an 8th grader and winning a state championship. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility when you look down and you see a guy that's a freshman that can lead a team this deep in the playoffs.
Benjamin Russell, a high-flying offense. When they get going, obviously you got Auburn commitment. You got talent all over the field. But the defense, it can make the difference in a game like this. Benjamin Russell's defense has come a long way from the beginning of the season. What do you think? How does the matchup look between them and Pike Road?
From what I've seen with Pike Road and the way we've been playing the last 5 weeks on defense, I like the matchup. I mean, we've had some tests with other teams, namely Helena was one of the better running backs in the state, and Jordan Washington, and we held him to his low performance of the year. He still ended up with about 100 yards, but this is a running back that had been rushing for, 200 plus almost nightly, and a big offensive line for Helena that you felt like wasn't a good matchup for us. And we've just got such a great defensive staff to be able to put our guys in a position and put our guys in a defense that can cause problems for the other team, even though it might appear to be a mismatch on paper. We've played a 3-down line and we played a 4-down line this year, depending on how the matchup goes. And that's what's so good about this team is we've got versatile players. We've got a lot of downhill tacklers, especially from the secondary position, that really come up and run support and act like linebackers. Got Bird and Marbury back there that really I would put them up against anybody in the state as far as how they're able to play the football and come up and run support. So just that adds 2 more players in the box for you, not having to play 2 guys in the box, if that makes any sense. So Got a lot of youth up front. This was a defense that started with 8 new starters, had freshmen on the front defensive line. But Caleb Spivey is a freshman, and he's not really a freshman anymore. He's already received an Auburn offer. He's going to get a lot more. He's a wrecking ball at defensive end. I think he's had 13 sacks this year, a lot of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He just disrupts a lot of offenses, and you're not going to be able to block him one-on-one. And I know that's crazy to say with him being a freshman. I can't imagine what he's going to do his junior and senior year. This kid's made unbelievable progress in 12 games this year. So a lot of other guys on defense. Jai Hicks in the middle is going to end up with 300 tackles on the season. This is just a good football team.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Gabe Benton and Malcolm Simmons, but there's a lot of other guys on this offense that really make it go.
Yeah, I want to say a little bit about Gabe first. It's not often you look down and you see a kid that's thrown 27 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. He's thrown for 2,668 yards this year. He's just, his size, he can run the football. You don't get that very often. Even at top programs in 7A don't get quarterbacks that look like Gabe Benton in high school at 6'4", 220 pounds. And, his football IQ is out the roof. He makes great decisions, obviously, with only 3 interceptions. And, he just gives you a chance to win every time you go out there because he's going to make the right decisions. And, that's invaluable, really. And he's been a 3-year starter for Benjamin Russell, and he's cut his teeth. And he got to the playoffs last year and played well in that first round, but Hueytown was just a little bit better than us. But we all felt like Gabe Benton could be this player when he got this senior year, and he's really become that guy that we thought. And he's got a lot of weapons, like you said. He's got a 1,100-yard rusher in the backfield in T.J. Wilson. He's got 4 or 5 dynamic receivers, Chris Foster, David Lawson, Cedarian Morgan, and, of course, Malcolm Simmons, just to name those guys. And then we've got a sophomore in Elijah Johnson that would be a lot of teams' number 1 receiver, and he's just an automatic catch every time Gabe throws him the football. So it's a loaded team. We knew we were good offensively, but Andy, you're right. I think defensively getting better each week has been a great surprise for this team. I hate to say surprise, but this is a veteran playing team now on defense.
Well, I've been impressed over the year, Brett, watching them on TV and kind of following them of how well our offensive line has grown together. And, the first of the year they were doing little struggles. Central Clay exposed them a little bit. And I just got to say I give my hats off to them because they've played a tough brand of football here at the end of the year.
Glad you brought that up because our offensive line has been playing outstanding. And, we took one of our better offensive linemen at the start of the year, moved him to the defensive line in Cooper Spears because we needed some depth over there. We needed some help. And, tip your hat to Cooper Spears for learning a new position and being as good as he is up front. And Coach Grider talked about Cooper and how he plays, and having all that experience as an offensive lineman kind of gives him an advantage playing defense because he can read how a lineman lines up and how he leans, and he kind of has that knowledge to kind of tip the hat of where the play is going to go. But you got, Chaden Allen up front, the senior. You got Chandler Patterson, who's done a really good job at center. I don't want to leave somebody out. Adrian Jasinski at tackle, who's played phenomenal. Just all around, overall, moving guys around and finding the right combination. And this offensive line is big. They're strong. They're physical. They've controlled the line of scrimmage the last several weeks, and that wins football games. Both of y'all know that. And we've won the line of scrimmage, really since the Pelham game. And it's kind of gotten, better and better each week. So love where we are as a team. It'll be a big challenge, obviously, Friday with Pike Road coming in here, but I think our team will be up for it.
Now, here's the $1 million question as everybody around town is already talking, because you know how people love to look ahead and say, oh, when we win this week, we're going to do this. How in the world, Andy and I were talking about it off in the air, how in the world, how fortunate we've gotten to have every single game at home. Is there a scenario that Benjamin Russell could play 4 in a row at home?
I don't think so. I think regardless of who wins that game between Saraland and Hillcrest, we will have to travel, because Hillcrest will travel this week to Saraland, and Saraland traveled last week to Briarwood. So they're both on top of us on the bracket, which also leads that if things hold serve, we'll have to travel. Now, I may be wrong, so don't 100% count me on that, but I'm almost positive that we'll travel regardless. But, again, if you told me you would get the first 3 rounds at home, I'd take that any day of the week. And you won the region. You were home against Sidney Lanier. And then you got that upset. Hueytown went on the road and picked up an upset. And that was why, Hueytown had to come to us. And, that was one of the big things that we wanted. We wanted to be able to have another round. And lo and behold, Pike Road comes from behind, being down 17-0. The Spanish Fort, and they were home last week, so they had to come and to our place this week. So, it doesn't happen like that very often. And when it does, you really need to take advantage of it. You don't want to look ahead. You just want to play the game that's in front of you. So we want to have a big crowd at the Sportplex Friday night. It looks like the rain's going to be out of here. Should be a really good night for high school football. It's third round. There's only 8 teams left, and you're one of the 8. So it'll be the day after Thanksgiving. There'll be a lot of people in town. We'd love to see a standing room only scenario at Sportplex.
Brett, we wish the Wildcats best of luck. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
It's truck season at AHSAA Automotive. New Honda Ridgelines, $349 a month. Ford Rangers, $357 a month. Nissan Frontiers, $379 a month. And Chevrolet Silverados, $399 a month. At AHSAA Automotive. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. It's truck season at AHSAA Honda, Tony Serra Ford, Serra Nissan, and Serra Chevrolet.
You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City, Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry? The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Let
Let Riverbank and Trust open doors for you. Whether you're purchasing land, a lot by the lake, or building or buying a home, begin with Tallapoosa County's loan experts. They'll guide you through the entire process, providing local decision-making, prompt responses, and the best real estate loan solutions for your unique needs. And in most cases, Riverbank and Trust can close your loan in 30 days or less, and they'll walk by your side every step of the way. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. We invite you to experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. Just one more segment left in the first hour of tonight's program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Auburn up 49-15 on Alabama A&M at the half. I think that one's pretty much in hand.
No, not after the Mexico State game I just watched. I ain't calling nothing.
Nothing's in hand till the final buzzer.
That's right.
That's probably a good way to look at it. We put it off long enough. Auburn and New Mexico State this past Saturday, 31-10. New Mexico State, and to be perfectly honest, the stats were uglier than the score.
Right, very ugly.
Auburn, they had more rushing yards than Auburn had total yards.
Yes.
It was or as many. Auburn never got into the red zone.
Zero.
A single time.
Zero.
It just, I mean, there's no other way to spin it. It was, as Brett said, I don't think, I disagree. It was the worst Auburn loss of mine. And I was at the Texas A&M game. The Johnny Manziel.
Yes.
60, whatever. I don't even remember, 63-14.
I've sat and thought about it and thought about it.
63-21, I think.
I can't remember other one of us losing to a team like this ugly. We've lost a few that have been close, come down to the end, and a few games that we let people at Jackson State stay in a game like they shouldn't have.
Well, I mean, Jackson State took us to overtime.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They stayed in it, but we won the game. This is unexcusable.
Yeah,
unexcusable.
We had to come from behind to send it to overtime.
Yeah.
Against Jack, that would have been the worst loss.
Well,
but like you said, the point is we came back and did win.
Yeah, and here's the I always
this wasn't even close.
Not even close. And I can't give Hugh a break on this one because Hugh got beat by the same team, the same quarterback, the same coach a year ago. The same way, got blown out. How do you not prepare for that game?
I think, I
don't get it.
You could say, I mean, and the excuse was then, he knew he was going to go to Auburn, and he had already checked out. And
okay.
What's the excuse this year?
That I checked out excuse should have been the perfect thing to look back on and go, okay, I got to make up for that one. I got beat by New Mexico State twice.
There is no excuse. I mean, it is an abject failure on the coach's part for getting the players ready, for the players to not have enough pride, to not have enough gumption to go out and actually play with some heart in this game. Because New Mexico – and look, New Mexico State is a good team.
Yes.
I don't mind saying that.
No.
They are a good team. They've got some good players.
Mm-hmm.
But they took the fight to Auburn from the beginning of the game and to the end.
Yep.
And, there was a brief moment there, and Dave and I talked about this Monday. Auburn finally gets their head on right. They go on a drive. They go down and tie the game 7-all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was like 6 minutes to play in the first half. And I thought to myself, well, okay, hold them 3 and out. Oh, you've woken up. Hold them 3 and out, and then go down and get points, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, and you get the ball to start the second half.
Mm-hmm.
You go down, score. You're in complete control of the game. And we'll go ahead and win this thing. And
right.
It may be ugly, but okay, that's fine. We kick the ball off. They drive right down the field, right down our throat, and kick a field goal, and they go in up 10-7. We get the ball back, and we have a little drive but a penalty, that's it. We punt it back, and they again drive it right down our throat.
Yep.
For 3 straight touchdowns, and it was the fake punt was a brilliant. It was a great call on their part. We looked completely unprepared.
And
for
then
it.
you hear Hugh in a press conference say, "We talked about it before it happened." Well, what were you talking about? We're going to watch them do it?
Yeah. Really?
I mean,
there was so many different things that you could talk about in the game.
You know, you go back to the old thing, and I think I brought it up on the show in previous shows. There's a such thing as that momentum that gets rolling. And once that train gets started, it's hard to stop it.
Yeah.
And when they allowed Mexico State to hang around and think they got a chance, it just kept rolling. And at a certain point in the game, they couldn't stop if they wanted to.
Yeah.
That like you said, when it come down to that fake punt and scoring that last touchdown, I mean, you wouldn't have stopped it if we had 24 guys on defense. They were going straight down the field.
To give them credit, they made every throw. They made every and they had 9 penalties in the game. Wasn't like they played perfect.
No.
They didn't turn the ball over, neither did we, but
yeah, but we still played the brand of football where we don't have enough of an offense that we can't afford to make penalties.
Oh, no.
If we make penalties, we kill ourselves.
Yeah.
And we just can't, again, not take any credit away from them. They are a good team. They're about to play in their conference championship game, so they are good. But they should never, their first time in school history beating an SEC team.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
I mean, that just, like I said, I've tried to look for all the positives, and I did find one. Alex McPherson.
Yeah.
The kid didn't miss a thing. 100%.
Well, the only positive I would take from it is if maybe, just maybe, this will bring them back down to earth so they realize how hard they're going to have to play in the Iron Bowl.
Right.
Because they were obviously feeling pretty good about themselves after that Arkansas win, and a little too good. And maybe this wakes them up. I don't know.
Right. One of those that you thought you were going to show up and just win the ball game. Yeah.
All right, that'll wrap up the first hour of tonight's show, but never fear, we will be back with hour number 2 right after these important messages.
GillsOpelika.info. Get pre-approved in minutes online at GillsOpelika.info for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Gills Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is serving up all your favorites: shrimp and grits, po' boys, tacos, seafood platters, and so much more. Don't miss out on our famous loaded fried green tomatoes. Wharf Casual Seafood is located on Highway 280 next to Regions Bank.
The Alabama Slammer. It's a popular drink at parties, but drink too many and you'll wind up in this Alabama Slammer. And if you drink and drive, get ready for a real Alabama Slammer. If you're involved in a crash where a driver's been drinking, you're 4 times more likely to die.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture.
we would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Gorees Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Welcome back, everyone, to hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim taking you up to 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in Alexander City. Downtown, they got a great atmosphere, great people, and great food there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Go and check them out today. Let's go to the phone line, Jim. Hey, caller, you're on the Sports Blitz Live.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Fine. Hey, I sure hope they're ready this week.
Yes.
What are your feelings on that? Do you think they'll be ready this week to play?
Yes, I do. I think players put losses behind them a lot quicker than fans do. And I think Auburn, I don't have any doubt that the Auburn players were embarrassed and they were upset with the way they played Saturday. I think they can get over it a lot quicker, and I don't think they remember losses quite like fans do. So I expect them to be ready to play. I expect them to come out. I expect the crowd to be better. I expect it to be energized. And, I don't know if that'll mean Auburn will win, but, I expect them to play with a lot more fight than they did on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Well, which bowl game do you think we'll be going to?
Right now, it depends on some other things, how they fall, but Birmingham Bowl, we might could get into the Music City Bowl in Nashville. I think, maybe at Shreveport or Memphis, wherever that one is now.
I think this game's going to hinge a lot on that to get that far down. I think if you don't win the Iron Bowl, you're looking more in a Birmingham style, bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was one and done.
Maybe so.
Maybe that won't happen again this year.
Certainly hope so.
Okay, War Eagle, and y'all have a nice Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving to you, James. Hey, caller, you're on the Sports Blitz Live.
Hey, guys, how y'all doing tonight?
All right, Jerry, how about you?
Doing great. Thank you for taking my call, Andy. I appreciate it a lot. I know y'all was just talking about whether or not that team be ready Saturday to play and everything. And I know we all been pretty disgusted, been out of shape about what we saw down there last Saturday. But I would just say this is, I think, honestly, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this is I think any kind of competitor, I played sports coming up and all that kind of stuff, all kind of sports and competed and even did a little bit of coaching. I just say anybody that's got that competitive, any kind of sense of pride or anything is going to want to get up and have a better showing about themselves and what was displayed this past Saturday. And I know that kind of stuff happens sometime. Heck, I've been out on the athletic fields or courts or whatever. I've had plenty of times where I got knocked down and kicked around, had my teeth kicked in and all that kind of stuff. But if you got just a sense of pride about your competitive bone in your body, you're going to want to get back up and make a better showing for yourself. And that's what I'll just say this. We'll find out Saturday if they do. And I don't think they've folded or anything like that. I think it just happened, and just have to put that in the rear view mirror and hopefully that's the case. And I'm not predicting anything, any kind of wins, any kind of this, that, and the other, but I do expect them to show some backbone. And that means coaches, players, all of them.
You know, Jerry, I think it'll say a lot about this coaching staff as far as how Auburn plays Saturday, you know, as far as the future is concerned. Because, I mean, like you said, I mean, if you got to have something about you to come back and want to say, no, that was not us. And we're going to prove it. And it's going to have a lot to say about how the coaches can get them ready to do that.
Yes, sir. That's right. And I totally agree that, and I mentioned it, I think, on the regular daytime show on Monday, yesterday, that Coach Dye, and I harken back to this, but I know it's a different time and era, but still competitiveness, sense of pride, so forth. And Coach Dye talking about some of them, I was just calling them lesser games that you're supposed to win, not a big name opponent or something like that. He said, you may not think those games are big, but you go out there and lose one, and you'll find out just how big a game it was, and that's what we found out this past Saturday. And I totally agree about the coaching and everything. It's well, they got to figure out how to turn them keys, how to mash the right buttons. And the guys got to get it up within themselves too. I don't care how good Alabama is, what the point line is, or whatever, whoever it is you're playing. This David against Goliath, or if you're like when Auburn played Georgia this year. Talking to some of my Auburn friends before the game, I said, well, it's going to be a big hill to climb. It's about like climbing Mount Everest, but Mount Everest has been climbed before. I know there's a bunch of dead bodies up there on that hill too, on that mountain, but it's been done before, and you got to show your pride and grow some backbone about yourself, and go out there and be willing to hit somebody and hit them and hit them and hit them, and not get blocked. Not get where you just constantly getting blocked and knocked down or whatever. We just got manhandled this past weekend. We weren't in the game. Nobody was. But that's in the past. I mean, there ain't nothing you can do about that now. All you can do is going forward and you show what you're made of. And I'm hoping and thinking, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not predicting that. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping to see. But we'll find out come this Saturday, guys. I appreciate y'all taking my call. Hey, it's a big War Eagle, and I really, really appreciate y'all's show. Appreciate what y'all do, letting us talk, and I learned quite a bit from you fellas about what's going on and just different things, and I really, really appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a good evening, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jared. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, well said. I couldn't add anything to that. We'll go ahead and take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
If you're looking for something to do in the Lake Martin area, you have to go to Liquor by the Lake. Liquor by the Lake is not only the best place to pick up your hard-to-find liquors and craft beers, there's a bar. An awesome bar serving up specialty cocktails and martinis. And the best bushwhacker and creamsicle drinks at Lake Martin. Make plans to come out for happy hour Fridays from 7 to 9 with half-price beer and cocktails. And there's live entertainment on Thursdays. You can even watch the Alabama and Auburn games and Sunday and Monday night football. Liquor by the Lake located on Highway 49 in the Big Fish Complex near Stillwaters. Open at 1 every day but closed on Wednesday. Come see us.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
It's truck and SUV season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. If you've been waiting to buy, the time is now to save big. Heavy discounts on Chevrolet and GMC 4x4s, crew cabs, loaded and lifted, gas or diesel, half tons to 1 tons. Loads of new and used models. Over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith. Don't wait, call now. Get the best deal on your new truck or SUV at Glenn Smith in Opelika and get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. About 45 more minutes left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us, and happy Thanksgiving to you out there. Hopefully you'll be celebrating this week. And
remember, and gain 5 pounds.
Remember to count your many blessings. Absolutely. Looking around the SEC, Georgia and Tennessee, you know, looking at this game at the beginning of the year, we thought, man, this could be a huge game. And, you know, it was a big game for Georgia to just try to get to the finish line here. But, wow, I mean, first play of the game, Tennessee breaks off a, 70-yard run.
75.
And you think, hey,
Yep.
they came here to play.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep.
Georgia proceeded to beat them into submission for the rest of the game. They ended up winning it 38-10. Georgia, you know, I hate to say it, and I mean, well, I don't really, you know, just because I'm an Auburn fan, I wish we were a part of it. But the SEC title game is going to be a really, really fun game.
As long as
it's going to be good.
As long as Milroe can get out to where he can do some running, you know, that running style, I think they're in the game. If they keep Milroe in the pocket, then I'm not sure it's just what we think it's going to be.
Tell you, Carson Beck, too, he's
grown up. He come a long way since the Auburn game.
Yeah.
Long ways.
That's
where Georgia's defense carried them the first 2 or 3 games of the year to get their feet wet. But now their offense is putting up as much help as their defense is giving them, and that's why you're having these 30 and 40-point games, because their offense is actually doing it against good defenses. Because Tennessee's defensive line is no slouch.
No,
I mean, they run the ball on them.
Joe Milton, you know, he's fine, but he's not anywhere close to Hendon Hooker.
Oh, no.
And that's been this vaunted Tennessee offense is just not. I mean, they put up 7 points against Missouri. They put up 10 points against Georgia here. They just have not been
what was it
anywhere close to where they were last year.
What did Tennessee put on A&M? Was it 20?
I don't remember.
I know it was low.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was not a high-scoring game by any means.
Yeah, so I mean that's they're making it pretty obvious they don't have the pieces that they had last year on offense.
No, that's true. Florida goes to Missouri. They have what they had. They had the
lead.
They had the lead 31-30 with and I think Missouri with a 4th and 17.
Right.
4th and 15, 4th and 17, something like that.
Yep.
And guys, I mean,
hit it.
How in the world you get the wide open? I mean, but Florida's defense is just not very good. And that was a game that they've been close several times. I mean, they beat Tennessee. They've been close several times. But
that's
Missouri.
that's the mark of somebody that's building something. If he's keeping all these games close, that is Napier, then you got to maybe give the man a shot to try to come over the hump next year. If these games start being would have been 10 to 14, 20-point games, then I think he's already gone.
Well, look at Missouri last year. I mean, close games that they lose, they were learning how to win. And they didn't do a lot of winning last year, but they learned the lessons, and they took it, put it into this year, added a few pieces, and lo and behold, look at them. They got a chance to win 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Drinkowitz has done
and then
a
you
great
announce in
job.
the college rankings, they're number 9 now. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to really vault Georgia as well, to have them on the resume that they beat them.
Yes.
Beat them the way they did.
That's a good point. Kentucky and South Carolina, the only other interconference game last week. South Carolina gets a win over Kentucky. It's
pretty impressive.
It's a bad year for South Carolina, but that's a good win for them to be able to kind of finish the season.
Okay.
They got Louisville this week. They could wreck their season.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
I guess the Spencer Rattler tenure is finally coming to the end. I think he's been around for about 8 years, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Between Oklahoma and
he's been well
South
serviced.
Carolina.
I can give you that much.
He's been what?
Well serviced.
Yeah, he has.
They've used up their warranty on his parts, is what I'm.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. Kentucky continuing to be Kentucky. They're just, they're never going to be contenders, really.
No,
but
I think that
they can sneak up and win 9 or 10.
They're the Arkansas of the West, or an Ole Miss. On a good year, they're an Ole Miss. On a bad year, they're an Arkansas, Mississippi State of the West.
Yeah. Alabama rolls Chattanooga. It was kind of a sleepwalk Saturday. I mean, Ole Miss struggled with Louisiana Monroe for a half, but then they woke up and ran them out of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I think LSU and Georgia State were tied at 14 at one time, but Jaden Daniels, he ends up having a monster game, and they rolled them 56-14.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State and Southern Miss, I don't think I have that score correct. I think it was 41-20.
21. That's what
I
I
think
was
it was
thinking.
40-21 or 41-20 or something like that. But all of a sudden, Will Rogers is back.
Mm-hmm.
So
Slinging
just in time for the Egg Bowl on a Thursday night. So who knows? That could be a
fired coach.
Yeah, no coach, no head. I don't even know who the coach is now. But Texas A&M, I think they were behind or they were tied early with Abilene Christian, but they
same scenario there. Fired coach.
They go
inspired.
They go to LSU.
Yeah.
To finish out the season. And Arkansas, they take care of Florida International 44-20, and it was announced Sam Pittman will be back.
I don't get it.
You were adamant. You thought for sure he was going to be fired.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what has he done to prove that he should keep the job? I'll give you that question.
Nothing.
Right. There's
He's
my
proof.
point. Is it a number thing that they go, hey, we can't pay his buyout?
Surely not.
Because that's not – I mean, I can't see any other way. He hadn't done anything in the season to prove to me that he's earned the job back. Who's he beat?
Oh, he's not. He doesn't have any quality wins.
Yeah, 0. Yeah.
Maybe Auburn last year. Was that a quality win?
Yeah, well, no. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You look at his, as they call it, his body of work as a coach, as a head coach. He's a great offensive line coach. Always done well at that. But some people are not cut out to be head coaches.
Yeah.
Not to say he might not come back next year and go 10-2, but he went. His great season was on a COVID year with like 40 seniors on the roster. So he had all the experience. He had a great team to play with. He don't have that anymore.
No.
It's just like we were talking about recruits earlier. Recruits. If you're looking at, I'm what is this kid's name? Cam Coleman. Do I go to Arkansas or do I go to Georgia? It's not even a discussion.
Yeah.
Right? So Sam, I like I said, I admire the guy. He's a hard worker and all that, but he's just not getting the kids to go down there and play ball.
No, I think Arkansas's hit their ceiling with him.
Yeah.
But like I say, he's going to be back next year. So, and they got to come to Auburn, so that's a good sign for Auburn.
Well, at least Hugh would be happy to see him coming.
Kentucky's not great. Auburn's picks them up next year as well.
Yeah.
But Auburn's got to go to Missouri next year. All of a sudden, that looks like a tough game.
Yeah. So. Now is Cook back?
I believe he is. I think he's just a junior. Or maybe just a sophomore.
For some reason, I was thinking he's a senior.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah.
Got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Oh, you went.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. About 30 more minutes left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Again, hope you have a great week of Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed some football. There's a lot of rivalry games coming up this weekend. Of course, the biggest of which, the Iron Bowl, 2:30 on CBS. But first, it being Thanksgiving week, got some Thanksgiving trivia here.
Can I run down a few comments real quick before we cut into that? I apologize to you guys. Me and Andy have been so into the show. I looked down and there were comments everywhere, and I
neglected
forgot
to do that.
Patrick says it's hard to pick between you guys and the Auburn basketball game.
Not now.
No.
64-27, I think it's in hand.
Yeah, I'd say, Patrick, tune on in. We're ready. You know, the basketball, they can handle it. Tony has said He said, I like how all of ESPN people don't even mention the possibility of Auburn beating Alabama.
Well, I remember, was it I believe you were actually talking about something about the 2001 Florida game, and I distinctly remember Lou Holtz on ESPN. Somebody said Auburn got a chance in this one, or maybe this one was the 07 game, and he said no chance. And lo and behold.
Well, I can definitely tell you, because I lived through that game and was standing on the sideline during that game, it's almost how I bet you that if I could have placed myself at the Auburn-New Mexico State game the other day, is when you look at a team and watch them warm up and see how they're not bouncing, they're not emotionally there. Steve Spurrier's bunch was not there in 01. They literally – I'm trying to remember the kid that was the quarterback at the time. It wasn't Werfel. It was Chapman? No.
No, what was his name?
I'm going to think of his name in a
Played
minute.
for the Bears. Took him to the Super Bowl.
That's correct. Well, anyway, that kid was warming up, and I was literally from here to that bench over there watching him, and it was like there was glass. Like they weren't there. They weren't emotionally inspired. They were number one. We were nothing.
Yeah.
We wasn't supposed to be in the ball game with them. And that's what that reminded me of Saturday was Auburn walked in there with that 2001 look of the number one team in Florida, and that Florida team just said, oh, we show up and beat Auburn.
At least they were number one.
Right, number one.
We weren't even ranked.
Correct.
Why did we feel?
That's what I get at is part of the game is there's emotion involved in it. You got to get yourself up. I know we've played a lot of weeks all year long, but you got to get up for that Mexico State game. You can't. They're too good just to show up. There's some teams you can show up and we physically would beat them just because we hiked the football.
Not many these days.
But not in New Mexico State. Not at all. Let's see here, see what else we got. Jerome says, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bama 41, Auburn 10.
41-10.
Yes. And then he says, will they score more than 10 points? That being Auburn.
That's a good question.
I'm going to say yes, because I feel inspired that Hugh, now that he's had this week, obviously looked like he's been preparing for 2 weeks for Alabama, so we should see a few tricks in the bag. I think you may see Robbie come in the game, come around the end on maybe in a reverse or something where Robbie throws a secondary pass. Be looking for something off the wall to come out of the package.
I think I'll take anything I can get.
There you
if
go.
It works.
Well, there you go. Well, I mean, here's the part of the season, though. What do you got to lose?
Nothing.
There you go. Throw it at Alabama. I mean, what's the matter?
Look, if Auburn can play Georgia to a fourth quarter game,
right?
There's no excuse for them not to be able to play Alabama to a fourth quarter game.
No.
It may not work out that way, but we'll see.
Ty says 64-23, but I think you got to update on the Auburn basketball game.
65-31.
65-31. So you guys that are out there listening, Auburn basketball is now will be
65-33.
They'll be 5-1, or
they'll be 4-1, I think.
4-1. Okay. I would think with the quality of wins we've just received against Notre Dame and who's the other one would be?
St. Bonaventure.
St. Bonaventure. I think we should be inching closer to that top 25 because your only loss is to a very high-ranked Baylor team. I mean, that's pretty quality wins he's getting now.
I would say
and should have won the Baylor game. But I contribute that like the last time we talked, that was the night they played that ball game or the night after. We made some first game mistakes is what it cost us that game.
Yeah, it's true.
That covers us on a comment. So now we're going to Thanksgiving trivia.
Thanksgiving trivia.
Gotcha.
For all of you out there, Jim, I will pose these questions to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to start you off in your wheelhouse.
What an easy one.
I'm going to start you off with some easy ones, okay?
All right.
Thanksgiving trivia. And if you'd like to play along at home,
yes,
by all means.
Please comment and give us the answers.
What is an adult female turkey called?
I would happen to have 7 of those at home, so I would be in bad shape if my daughter knew I didn't know it was called a hen turkey.
A hen.
Mm-hmm.
A hen. Female turkey. What is an adult male turkey called?
And that one I would be in trouble as well because we just took an adult male to her school for a show and tell, and that is she calls him Mr. Tom. He is Tom Turkey.
Mr. Tom Turkey.
That's right.
A hen and a tom. I think probably most of you all know that.
Yes.
Which 2 NFL teams have played on Thanksgiving Day since 1966. Not each other, but both teams have played to other teams on Thanksgiving Day.
Good grief. For some reason, Detroit keeps coming to mind.
Detroit Lions. All right, that's one.
And then
America's team.
Who? America's team? Oh, the Cowboys?
The Cowboys.
Okay. I knew I had the Lions. I just couldn't place the other one.
Cowboys and the Lions have played every Thanksgiving Day since 1966.
Good grief.
Yeah.
You think you get tired of that?
Are pumpkins technically a fruit or a vegetable, Jim?
I'm going to call them a fruit.
Fruit or a vegetable?
Fruit.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. All right, you're doing great so far. You're doing great so far. They're about to get a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
What temperature should a turkey be cooked to for safe eating?
For safe eating.
What do you need to get the turkey
oven?
needs to get now? Not the oven temperature, but the temperature of the turkey.
Oh.
What does it need to get to while cooking for it to be safe to eat?
I'm going to give him 150 degrees.
Ooh, so close. 165 degrees.
There you go.
165 degrees. So that's a good tip for all you out there doing your bacon or your frying or your turkey.
Yeah, and
needs to get to 165 degrees.
All of you out there doing the frying of the turkey, please use careful consideration with that, because I've seen some people catch things on fire. When you dip that turkey into that hot grease, dip it slowly. If you drop it fast, that grease is going to come up and you're going to catch something on fire.
Yeah, not good. And don't want the trichinosis either. All right. How many passengers were on the Mayflower?
Oh,
how many
my
passengers
goodness.
were on the Mayflower?
I'm going to say 100.
102. Right on the mark. 102 passengers on the Mayflower. I'm very impressed. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll run down some more of these, and we'll take a look at some upcoming games this weekend and make some predictions. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. Just a few more segments left in tonight's show. A couple more segments, actually. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. We are looking at some Thanksgiving trivia here. Jim is nailing it. He's doing a fantastic job so far, but things are about to get more difficult.
The rubber meets the road.
All right, Jim. What movie holds the record for the highest grossing weekend in Thanksgiving history?
I mean, this is going to be a complete guess because I don't have any idea, but something that had to be related to Thanksgiving, but I can't even come up with that. So
it has nothing to do with Thanksgiving as far as I know.
Good grief.
Think winter.
Think winter?
Winter. The guess is, the clue is
the winter?
Winter.
I'm going to say something.
It is a sequel.
Goodness, a sequel.
Clue number 2. It is a sequel.
I don't know. Is it Jim Carrey and what's his movie with the penguins in it? No.
No, that's a good guess. Frozen 2.
Okay.
Frozen 2.
Oh, my gosh.
I've not seen Frozen or Frozen 2.
My daughter would be upset with me, too, because that's Olaf is the
there you go.
The snowman, and then there's Anna and Belle is the princesses in there.
There you go.
My daughter's going to kick me for that one.
That is the highest grossing movie that came out in Thanksgiving weekend.
And we've got them all. We got the Anna chair and
Frozen 2.
Dolls. Oh, my Lord.
I would have never gotten that. According to Macy's, how many people attend the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade each year?
I'm going to say.
Now, think about this. Is according to Macy's.
Right.
So they're going to probably inflate the number
a little bit. Yeah. They're going to pump it to make themselves sound good. I'm going to say 100,000.
According to Macy's, 3.5 million.
There's no way.
According to Macy's, 3.5 million people come to watch the Macy's Day Parade every year.
Now, are they counting TV viewers?
Maybe they're counting parade routes.
Right.
People in the parade, people in the buildings,
right.
I guess. Everywhere.
There's no way.
That seems a bit high.
Yes.
But that according to Macy's. How long is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade route?
5 miles.
Cut it in half.
2.5?
3.5, 2.5 miles.
It is impossible.
Yeah, 2.5 miles.
Impossible for 2.5 miles to have 3.5 million people. They would be standing on top of each other.
That's true.
There's no way.
Well, they're on both sides.
What are they watching from? They got stands?
An elevated position for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that Macy's lying.
Something. There's a dead cat in the woodpile somewhere. All right. What year did a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving debut on television? A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
I'm going to say
1964. You're about 10 years too early. 1973. 1973 is the answer we're looking for.
Okay.
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Finally, Jimbo, according to Guinness Book of World Records, how much did the world's largest pumpkin pie weigh?
How much did it
We're looking
weigh?
for the weight of the largest pumpkin pie ever.
100 pounds.
You got to go a little higher.
Good grief.
3,699 pounds.
How do you move that with a tractor?
I don't. With a crane or something.
That's
3,699 pound pumpkin pie.
My next question would be, how did you get that in an oven?
How did it taste?
Right. You can't cook it evenly all over 3,000.
I wouldn't think.
There'd have to be the greatest oven you've ever seen in your life to have 3,000-pound pie in there.
That's a big pie.
That's a big one.
Now that's right.
And who
up
are you
my
going to
alley.
feed with it? You could feed a whole city.
You could feed, could feed everybody at the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Not 3.5 million. I hate to tell you, Macy's. That 3,000 pumpkin ain't going to cut it.
All
right, let's do
All
some
right.
predictions.
All right, we'll do a couple of these, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back and do the rest.
All right, so anybody out there listening, lock in, because this is time for you to spend a little of your pocket change, as Andy likes to spend on himself his front pocket money. He's going to predict some ball games, so whatever he says, you stick to it.
The great Karnak will now speak.
There you go. All right, first one. Ole Miss is going to be at Mississippi State Egg Bowl on Thursday. They're giving Ole Miss 10 points.
Yeah. Will Rogers mentioned he's back. It would be just – I mean, look, this is a rivalry game much like the Iron Bowl. These two don't like each other. They despise each other, actually. I could see Mississippi State kind of pulling an upset here, but I think Ole Miss is a little bit too talented. I'm going to go with the Rebels on this one. I don't think they cover, but I think they win.
Okay. So they're not going to cover the 10, but they win the ball game.
Yep.
Okay. We got Tuskegee at Alabama State, and that is going to be on Thursday as well.
The old Turkey Day Classic. I've not seen either of these two teams play this year, but I'm going with Tuskegee.
Okay. I'm going to take a what are they? A Tiger? Tuskegee
I think
Tiger?
they are.
Yeah, that's right. An Alabama Hornet.
Yeah.
All right, we're going with TCU at Oklahoma. It is going to be 10 points in Oklahoma's favor on Friday.
I'm going with Oklahoma and the points.
Okay.
Because I like the Sooners in this one. Tough year for TCU. Opened with a loss to Colorado, and it just hasn't gotten much better since. They played Texas pretty tough, but I like Oklahoma and Dylan Gabriel in this one.
Okay. Let's go Texas Tech at Texas. They're giving 12.5 to Texas on a Friday.
That line seems big to me.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has been struggling. They squeaked by the last several weeks. They kind of seem like they're running on fumes. My goodness. I want to pick Texas taking an upset here, but I think Texas is going to make it very difficult on the playoff committee when the time comes. So I'm going to say Texas finds a way at home to take care of the Red Raiders.
To cover. All right, we're going to go.
I don't know if they cover, but they win. I'm going to say they don't cover, but they win.
Okay. They're going to pull it off by 7 in Texas. Oregon State at Oregon, a 13.5-point favorite for the Ducks, the Bo Nix-led Ducks on a Friday.
I'm going to say Oregon gets this done and gets it done in a big, impressive way. I'm going to say Bo Nix has a great game. The Ducks go in to play Washington on a winning streak here, and that's going to be a phenomenal Pac-12 title game, maybe the best ever Pac-12 title game. But I think if Oregon State would have beaten, if they could have found a way to beat Washington, this might have been a much better game, but I think it's – I think you get – and if it was in Corvallis, I might be tempted to pick them. But in Eugene, the Ducks get it done, and Bo Nix maybe inches a little bit closer to a Heisman Trophy.
There you go.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll round out these. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This fall, nobody beats Martin's Sports Pub for Lake Martin's best sports experience. Martin's all-star lineup of cold beverages and pub fare food can't be beat, with the region's best wings, burgers, and signature dishes. At Martin's, you always have the best seat in the house for all college and NFL on our multiple 360-view TV and huge projection screen with surround sound. See our pigskin scoreboard weekly to win big money and let our all-pro teams serve it all to you at the place we all win. Martin's, Highway 34, Dadeville.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, the final segment of the show tonight. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We got to round out some of these predictions, and we'll do that in the next couple of minutes.
All right, Saturday's ball games. We're going to have Clemson taking on South Carolina. Clemson is a 7-point favorite at South Carolina.
Yeah, ever since Dabo got blown up on the radio and he exploded and had his little tirade, Clemson been on a 3-game winning streak here, or have won 3 straight. They win this one. They go in and get a little revenge from last year.
Do they cover the 7?
Yes.
Okay. They cover the 7. North Carolina at North Carolina State, and that's 7 to North Carolina State.
Actually, it's a 3-point favorite for North Carolina. That's the tie.
Oh, 7. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, ACC
I like
Network.
NC State.
Yep.
I like NC State.
I do
pull
too.
the upset here.
Yeah. I see that. Georgia at Georgia Tech. They're giving Georgia 24 points.
Yeah, I'm not – yeah, never mind. They cover. Yeah, I mean, they're going to win.
Right.
It's just, I thought Georgia Tech might give them a little bit but I'm going to say, yeah, they cover.
Okay.
31, I'm going to say like 38-7.
We're going to go Florida State at Florida, and then we're giving, 6.5 to Florida State.
Boy, I don't know.
Without your star quarterback.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, going to Gainesville, Jim, I'm going to say Florida pulls an upset here.
You would have the college football world ball rolling of upsets if you pull that one off.
I'll go out on a limb.
Because I think if that upset happens, there's no way 11-1 Florida State without their star quarterback ever even a mention for the playoffs.
No,
they won't.
Done.
They're done. Yeah, that's an over.
I mean, if it'll work out one of two ways. They may rally. Team may rally, and I don't know what to back up. I don't know what his deal is, but
he's definitely not to the level of what they lost.
No, there's a reason he's the backup.
So, yes, if your prediction is correct, Florida State is done.
Yeah.
How about Ohio State at Michigan? They're giving 3 to Michigan.
I'm going to say Michigan wins.
So
by 3.
Here's the other beautiful question about that, and I think we covered it early in the program. If Michigan pulls this off, we both know they're going to go beat Iowa in the championship game. So you're sitting there with an Ohio State with some big wins on their resume during the year with 1 loss. Do you stick them in as a 4th team, or they're done?
Done.
So Florida State, under your predictions right now, Ohio State's gone, Florida State's gone. So that's going to leave us with an Oregon or a Washington, one of those two being in. You're going to leave us with who? Georgia or Alabama? Who are you giving us?
I'll say Georgia. Let's just say Georgia.
Georgia wins? Okay, so Georgia's in. Michigan's in.
Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Oregon winner.
Okay, so Oregon's in as your books. You're going to say Oregon. Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah, and then who else you got?
And
you got a bunch of 1 losses. Texas.
It'll either be the 1 loss Texas or 1 loss Alabama.
Okay. So if Alabama were to win the championship.
Well, it'd be 2 losses. Well, I mean.
Yeah, so Alabama be out.
Yeah.
So who you got in your 1 loss?
If Alabama wins, then Georgia stays in.
It's okay. So you're putting them in as their 4th team.
Yeah,
that kicks Ohio State. Let's see. All right, Alabama at Auburn.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, the biggest game of the year. I've seen it all week long. People are writing stories on it. Even the rivalries across the country, everybody, don't care if it's from the north or the south, they're all saying this is the biggest rivalry there is.
Sure.
Everybody watches, and it's 14.5 to Alabama. Me and you both know the odds are in Alabama's favor that they're going to win this just because of momentum and what they're coming off of, but can they pull the 14? Or does there another?
Sure they can. That has been, Jordan Hare's a tough place to play. Nick Saban's only 4-7 in Jordan Hare
Stadium.
So, look, it's I think Auburn's got a chance. It depends on how they play. It depends on their mindset. Alabama's clearly a better team overall, but, they were a better team 2 years ago, and Auburn took them 4 overtimes.
Correct.
So if that can happen, I have no clue. Depends on which Auburn team shows up.
That's the.
I'll wait and give my score a little bit later this week on the Auburn Blitz. But
what's the? Is there another prayer at Jordan Hare? A kick 6? Is there any of that left? Does she have that magic?
There's something like that. But Hugh Freeze, he's been kind of kryptonite to
Nick.
To Nick too. So Auburn's,
he's beat Nick a couple of times on some tip passes some of his receivers had that fell into the receiver running beside him, fell in his hands.
That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He is Jim Hardy. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
So you want to build a home, Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
It's truck and SUV season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. If you've been waiting to buy, the time is now to save big. Heavy discounts on Chevrolet and GMC 4x4s, crew cabs, loaded and lifted, gas or diesel, half tons to 1 tons. Loads of new and used models, over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith. Don't wait, call now. Get the best deal on your new truck or SUV at Glenn Smith in Opelika and get ready to smile.